I'm Steve Kajala. I am the Cook Lions Club president, going into my 6th term as president. I've been a Lion for 6.5 years. Well, I will also be first my sister elect, so that will come to an end soon. So we have a lot of new leadership coming in, but all right. This started off as 5 slides, and now it's 30, but a lot more pictures, so I'll move through quickly. All right, so a little bit about our club. We're 52 years old. Oh, sorry. We're 86 Lions. We are the largest club in our district, which is the Bemidji Club has been king for like as long as I've been a Lion, and they weren't very happy to hear about that. So there is a bet between Mel Melinder and I for who will finish the year as the largest, and we're winning. So we have Lions from 18 years old to 87 years young, and all of them are active. We have 65 new Lions since the start of COVID. 53 women and 33 men. And 44 Lions under the age of 55. Now, I'm told that's what they wanted us to do, and we didn't know that. We just did it, so we happened into it. But anyway, we also sponsor the Northwood Leos in the Northwoods High School, and we have 72 Leos that help us out a lot too. You may have heard of us in the Lion magazine. We ran for 17 years what's called $1 million rummage sale, where the retail value of everything in the rummage sale was $1 million, and ended up putting a lot of money back in the community over those 17 years. Unfortunately, the building that we were using no longer worked, so we had to discontinue and get involved, which happened right before COVID. But anyway, so this is Cook, Minnesota on a regular day. 590 people. Again, 86 Lions, 590. We don't have a line in every house yet, but we're working on it. We used to have a stoplight. We don't have a stoplight anymore. The most exciting thing that ever happened in Cook in 1961, Johnny Cash was driving himself from one concert in Wisconsin up to Winnipeg, and he was stopped for speeding. And that's again the most exciting thing that's ever happened. This is Cook normally. And this is Cook last June. That's my office right there. The water was about 18 inches higher than that. This was taken when the water was already coming down. This is the Comet Theater. It's the oldest. It was the oldest continuously running theater in the state. They're taking probably about a 12-month break because they'll be back. They're planning to open up again this spring. So, what happened? Our watershed received from 6 to 10 inches of rain upstream from us. The river that comes through town is about 30 feet wide, about 3 feet deep, so it just didn't work. And it rose by about 10 feet, crested on the Thursday the 20th, causing the worst flood that we've ever seen. They called it, I guess, the people who really know these things, they called it a 1,000-year flood. Everybody talked about the Great Flood of 1970. That was about a foot lower than what we had. So we had, again, the worst flood ever, and a lot of buildings, people said, well, those buildings are safe because they didn't flood in 1970. Well, they all flooded. So about 40% of the town was underwater. 120 structures were flooded. I'm talking anything from sheds to garages to businesses to homes had water either in the basement or in the main level or both. So now what? Who needs help? Well, the Cook needs help. Who can help? Lions. Lions can help. What is needed? Well, we don't know yet, but we'll figure that out. I'm going to give credit to this to District Governor Bob Woodkey. I think he said it, but I heard it recently, so when I verify that he did say it, I'm going to give him credit for it. But this quote, Lions are the first humanitarian group to arrive and the last to leave because they live there. And that was true. So we applied for the grant. And so what happens now? And District Governor Jess says, now we wait. Well, we didn't wait long. Anybody do the math on that? 57 minutes for an organization with 1.4 million service people. That was only that connected to my office. My water had just receded on Friday morning, and I just fell into the river and was swept away when I read that. So thank you, Past International President Brian, for turning that around so quickly. So we started, we got on the social media, there wasn't a lot of communication. The city workers and the leadership, they didn't know what to do either. So, we'd flooded for 56 years. None of those people were alive then. So we gave a shout out right away when we got that. So 2 days later, we met and had an emergency meeting. It was the most attended Lions meeting our club has ever had, which was awesome. We established a flood committee. We got spending protocols opened up so we could spend money more quickly, and obviously had that grant money, which is just amazing. What do we need? Dehumidifiers, fans, shop vacs, sump pumps, drain hoses, pressure washers, protective equipment, cleaning supplies, especially disinfectants, cleaning equipment, toiletries, food, beverages. So we planned a shopping trip the next day. We put up this post just to let people know, hey, come on down to the fire hall tomorrow. We're going to have some stuff. So we went shopping, and honestly, this was really just a special day. We filled up the ambulance. The volunteer fire department helped us bring things home. We filled up the ambulance, 4 pickup trucks, and an enclosed trailer with stuff. The $10,000, we spent $12,000 at the first store, and then we went to the next store, and we bought out, paper towel and bleach, everything. We came home in a convoy. And if you've never followed an ambulance, it is really something special. And again, it's good when you're not following it for bad reasons. So that was the blue truck behind the ambulance. So we rolled into the fire hall, unloaded everything. Dehumidifiers, that was a big thing. Again, the bleach, waters, all that stuff and more, was unloaded with, there was probably 100 people there. Our club themselves gave $3,500 to the fire department for emergency food, because when you have, you've got 120 people or 120 residents displaced, you've got, businesses, you've got volunteer workers, you've got the emergency staff, so it was, the burn rate is pretty high. It's about $1,000 a day to feed all those people. We started fundraising. We rented an empty building and turned it into the Cook Lions Flood Recovery Center. So we ran that for 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours at night, for 2 months straight, every day. And then, as things started to taper down, we ran it for 8 hours a week until that was done. Whatever was left, everything in there was free to flood victims. And we gave it on their honor, and I don't think anybody, nobody took advantage of that. And, or I should say, wasn't deserving. At the end, we had 2 rummage sales, sold everything, put all that in the flood fund. So this is kind of what it looks like in there. We had the Ruby's Pantry, which is a regional food shelf, gave us a whole bunch of stuff. Easier for us to hand out because we're always open. And people just filled the place with refrigerators and beds and couches and chairs and everything imaginable. Somebody, I don't know why this picture comes so clean, but you get a picture. This was a former pharmacy. The whole thing, you could hardly walk in there. It was so full of stuff. So to date, between everything, we put about $130,000 back into that town of 590 people. We spent about $32,500 in relief supplies. Again, LCIF covered the first $10,000 of that. Again, another $11,500 of food for everybody. And when we were done, we had $76,000 left over, and then we gave out checks to, there was 29 homeowners who had applied, and business owners, and it was all, so it was about, somewhere around $3,000 a piece went out. And we give the library some money too, because the library, in a small town, our cafe was closed. Library is a very important thing to small towns, so they're operational. They may be rebuilding up above the watershed going forward. So where we're at, again, thanks to LCIF, thanks to Lions, we were able to get those supplies. The other organizations, and again, they have a place, but they didn't show up for days. And the fact that we were able to react quickly, because if you have a building that's underwater, it's kind of in suspended animation. When the water comes out, mold and mildew starts, right away. And with, swift action, and all those volunteers, you know, we were able to get things dried out. You know, of the 120 buildings, only 5 of them were not able to be, you know, reoccupied, and all but one business has or will reopen here soon. So again, I want to obviously thank first of all LCIF and a number of local people and groups, and we got checks from Lions clubs, you know, all around everywhere. So if anybody here sends a check, thank you. And finally, you, because you guys are who support LCIF, who supports us. So why don't you give yourself a little round of applause here? I just want to say, if you ever know a town that floods and they're in a similar situation, and we figured it out. It took us a little while. We didn't do everything perfectly, but if there's ever a need, I want people to call me, you know, call our flood committee. You know, we will get on a Zoom, we'll drive down there, we'll help in any way that we can, because again, you know, minutes count, you know, when things like this happens. So one other thing I wanted to add too, we are working with our fire department. The fire hall was kind of the first spot where everything went, and then of course eventually they had to get back to being a fire hall, so that's when we moved over to the Cook Lions Flood Recovery Center. But we're working with our fire department, because again, if this happens again, or if there's a forest fire or a train derailment or anything major, we are working to get them a generator so they can be a mobile command post, because right now if the power goes out, they can't even open their doors. So that's the next step. I'm hopeful that we will probably be applying for a emergency preparedness grant for that. So again, with that, thank you everybody.